Let's talk about my number one free agent target for the Chicago Bears this offseason. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports all back at it with another video talking, of course, my NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, please make sure you do hit that big red subscribe button down below. Make sure you are following me on all my social media platforms, guys. And as always, hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. All right, so the biggest offseason of the Chicago Bears history is coming up. I'm not exaggerating here, people. The Bears have never had more than $100 million in cap space, or I guess the most cap space in the NFL, and they've never had the number one overall pick going into an offseason. The amount of ammo they have this offseason, they've never had. And so that is why I believe it is the biggest offseason in Bears history. And the Bears have had a long history. So it means something. So going into this offseason, taking a look at specifically free agency, who is my number one target for the Bears to go ahead and try to acquire or try to sign? And I'll start with this. If I have to pick which side of the football, I'm going to go ahead and, pick on the offense, just because of the fact that I know this is an offensive-driven league, and we're talking about Justin Fields and him being our franchise quarterback, and what can you do to help him, right? There's positions of need that the Bears have all over the team, right? D-line, O-line, receiver, secondary, like there's positions all over. But if we're talking offense, defense, I'll take offense. And I know defense is a big issue, I get it, but if I'm trying to address my number one need, it is going to be helping the offense more than it is helping the defense. So, on the offensive side, we already talked about a couple positions of need. It's really only two that we know for sure are our highest. Offensive line, receiver. Well, seeing as how the receiving core in free agency is awful. It is bad, people. The best receiver out there for the Bears to obtain is Jacoby Myers. And no disrespect to Jacoby Myers, but he ain't that guy. He ain't a number one receiver. And so, by process of elimination, we get to the offensive line. And the guy out there that I want the Bears to go ahead and make their number one priority, Orlando Brown Jr. Yeah, Orlando Brown Jr., offensive lineman from the Kansas City Chiefs. Why is he my number one priority over potential guys like Javon Hargrave, Elton Jenkins, and I know a lot of people have talked about Deron Payne, and there's a bunch of guys. Why is Orlando Brown Jr. my number one target? Well, because one, he is on the offensive side of the football. Two, he's on the offensive line, which is arguably our biggest, at worst our second biggest need. And he fits the timeline of the type of player you want to pay. Look, folks, just because you have a lot of money does not mean you need to be foolish about it. You need to spend smartly. And for Ryan Poles, when he takes a look at Orlando Brown Jr., a lot of guys may not be familiar with him. He's an offensive tackle, again, for the Kansas City Chiefs. He is 6'8", 360 pounds. He's a four-time Pro Bowler. I think the only time he didn't make the Pro Bowl was his rookie season. And here we go, the biggest reason, he is only 26 years old. So if you pay him a big contract with a lot of money, he is still young enough where he will be worth it throughout the deal. See, that's the problem with a lot of these free agents out there, is they're a bit older or they're on the back end of their career. So you're basically overpaying them. And you end up usually overpaying the free agency. But if you have an opportunity not to and get fair value, why wouldn't you? And so that's why I like Orlando Brown Jr., because he's 26. He's 26. You sign him to a 5-year deal, he's still going to be 31 years old. You'll get his best years, or still some of his best years. And trust me on this, Orlando Brown Jr. is one heck of a player. He was with the Ravens, and they did trade him to the Chiefs. The Chiefs tried to sign him. They put an exclusive, non-exclusive tag on him, and he signed a franchise tender worth $16.7 million after failing to reach a long-term contract with the Chiefs. He is going to be a free agent this upcoming offseason. And the Chiefs may try to sign him, but if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl or if they don't, they have other things that they're probably more focused on. And they don't have as much money as the Bears. So even if they try to, the Bears can obviously come in and offer more money for Brown. And so to me, this is the guy you want to look at. Look, he is a left tackle. Excuse me, he's a tackle. And we've got Braxton Jones there, right? Obviously, on the offensive line, you got Tevin Jenkins on the right side. You got Larry Borum at the right tackle spot. You got Cody Whitehead at the left guard spot. You might be thinking, Faiz, where is Orlando Brown Jr. going to play? Well, again, is Braxton Jones solidified as your left tackle? Could you move him elsewhere? And again, you'll be signing other offensive linemen. The center spot's still open. So there's a lot of questions, but here's my thing. What's to say that some of these offensive linemen can be interchangeable? So to me, I certainly think that should not be the reason for you not to pursue him. At the end of the day, we're talking about protecting Justin Fields, building up the offensive line. You win through the trenches. Just get talent. Just get talent, and then you can figure out where you're going to play him. So that is why I want Orlando Brown Jr. He is my #1 target for the Bears going into free agency. And I hope Ryan Poles does everything he can in his power to go ahead and sign him and bring him to Chicago to let him protect Justin Fields for years to come. Let me know what you guys think. Who is your #1 target in free agency? Is it an offensive lineman, receiver, defensive lineman? Let me know down below as always. Thanks for